Good morning, everybody. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Just give me a minute. There we go. I'm just going to show you something this morning. So I'm also just checking something myself, but I'm just going to check to see if I've been paid with, oh, nice. NQ hit my, I don't know if Sam's on the call, but I said this morning to Sam, I wanted to see 810s trade, and then I wanted to see 650s trade. So we've just traded the 810s. And yeah, these are my Lucid accounts. So I submitted several payouts this morning. I got the Lucid accounts to $1,150 of profit on the Flex accounts. Just for those who've maybe not taken a payout yet, this is what you'll look like once you get to the payout bit. It'll show you up on here your profit, and on the actual payouts, they're still pending. So yeah, 575 on the Lucid ones are still pending. The 10,000 was paid on the 26th and the 4th. So those ones are still pending. The funded next ones have all gone through. They actually paid me within 14 seconds which is weird, on one account, and then the others were about an hour later. So I'm just gonna quickly get that up as well, just to have a look. And then we'll talk about the NQ. But yeah, my level on screen is pretty much where I want to see the price come to if we're going to take any longs today. And if we just grind higher, then probably won't really do too much. But anyway, these are the payouts on funded. Hey, there we go. 11,500 now has been dispersed. So yeah, these were the ones today. 14 seconds, bro. Can you see that? Let's zoom in. Look at this. 14 seconds, bro. Oh no, I messed it up. Yeah, 14 seconds. Pretty cool. And then the others were like 1 hour. So yeah, 550 per 5. But there is 7 other accounts that are pretty much going to be there as well after today. So and then the famous Apex. I'm just checking this more for myself just to see if they've actually paid it, just to see if they've approved it yet. I don't think they will just yet, but Apex, and I just noticed something as well. One of the accounts is slightly like at 30.4 on the consistency. So that one account, I need to get another like $20 for me to be able to do that one. But basically, it's like what, $23,000 payout. So I'll just log into this one and I'll show you. So it's basically a $29,600. Well, I thought it was a $29,600 payout week, but it's like a $28,600. But I'll request this one tonight. If we do any trades today, and then yeah, these are the payouts. So let's have a look, see if it's been approved. Pending. So these are the ones I did today. I've never actually ever submitted anything over $1,000. Well, anything over $600 I've never done. So the ones last was 601 was the highest payout I ever submitted. Before that was 500. So 20 off 500 and then 20 at 600. And this time around it's now 1,200. So pretty cool accomplishment from pretty much doubling the amount of payout, which is phenomenal. The only one I haven't done is this one here. So the reason I can't do it is because if I try to put in just even, let's just say 1,138, you'll see it's I'm at 30.6. So I just need to earn like whatever the difference is, a small amount. It would be nice if they told you exactly what I need to earn, but I think I worked out on ChatGTP and it's like $22 or something. So anyway, that will get done today, hopefully. And going into today, so this is the NQ. We're looking at, we want to try and see if we can trade the long side today. I'm going to bring up my message that I sent to Sam this morning. I'll take a screenshot. So just so you can sort of see my bias, I wasn't really doing a large amount this morning. I actually went out for some food and did a YouTube video this morning. So not really spent much time on the charts in all fairness, but this was my This was my read this morning about 6 hours ago. Here we go. So this is my message this morning at 11 o'clock UK time, which is, I don't know, 3-4 hours ago. I want to see 620s break and then a decent pullback if I was going to long, but it's Friday. I think on average it's more bearish, so tricky day. Sit on hands until it's an easy setup. So yeah, pretty much my thoughts are exactly the same. 820s did trade. Literally did trade, so that's pretty wild to see. Now, the only thing I'm really going to be looking at is, let's just zoom out. The only thing I'm really going to look at, since we traded the weekly halfway back yesterday, which is where we came down to on the overnight, we traded that halfway back. Now, for me, the only logical thing to do on here, if I don't really want to trade the short side, and I'm just going to draw the short just to see. I mean, we're at it. We are literally at that halfway back. But I'm not going to draw the short. I'm not going to draw the short. Oh, it's such a tricky one. It is such a tricky one. I feel like the short is valid. I just don't know why. I just do not want to short. I don't want to short it. I don't know. Same as yesterday. I did not want to short. I made money to the long side, even though you could argue maybe the day was better to maybe short on the open. I don't know, but I'm not feeling the short for whatever reason. What I am feeling is probably a retracement back down into this 62 here. The reason for that is I actually drew that earlier on, and the dynamic trend line was sitting at around that level. I'm trying to think when I would have drawn that. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. It was a 5 minutes. Sorry. I drew 620s or 660s. I'm almost sure there was a support there, but I think that must just have been from the halfway back initially, and that same anchor new high. Sorry, that same anchor new high lines up, yeah, with about that 62 there. So that's all I'm really looking at today. Do we get it? I really don't know. Do I really care if I get it? Again, I don't really think I do, to be honest. It's one of those days where, after looking at the stats on the RTH and the ETH levels, Thursdays and Fridays are more bearish days. Historically, they just are. Like there's no arguing it. They are. So like it's much more favorable to trade the ETH low Thursday and Friday as opposed to Monday and Tuesday. So I know that for sure. So which is then contradictory because I'm like, well, why do I really want to trade the longs and not the shorts? So yeah, you can already tell by my morning breakdown, I'm a little bit sort of on the fence on both sides in all honesty. So yeah, with that being said, it's probably a capital preservation day, and I do appreciate this breakdown is not that helpful or that useful. And yeah, it's a tricky one for me is what I'm trying to say. I think if I'm going to trade anything, it's probably going to be a deep discount long. The only reason for that is because I can't long here, obviously, and I don't know if I really want to try and short this when I feel like it could just be a bit of a too easy type of short. And I don't know if I want to take that. Like, I can just see a lot of people probably trying to short into this. And maybe those sort of trades are going to have to get paid at some point because even people who lose money consistently still have to win trades. So maybe this plays out. And just like yesterday, I said this, and the market did come down to I had a buy level yesterday at 630s, which traded. But before that was a 200-point move down. So like, you can make money on the downside. I just think it's probably best for me today that I wait to see something like this. And again, I don't necessarily think we trade the ETH high, but boy, even if we get back up into here, why would I trade anything here to the long side when I'm probably only really going to get a move like this anyway? We've already traded the ETH high once this week and the RTH high twice and the ETH and RTH low once this week. So statistically, it's not likely that we trade the ETH high or low today. I would be very confident in saying that. Can it happen? Yes, it's just not probable on average. So it's probably going to be a range day inside these levels, which is still, it's still range, but just be aware it's like 300 minus 10%. You're looking at probably like, 200 to 250 to 300 points of range, but you have to remember you're already at a high end of that already. So you've got about 60, 70 points to the upside. Remember what happened on whatever the day was on here when we spoke about that. And then we had that huge, 150 point drop down. So yeah, I'm not going to be a buyer at these levels. If the market's going to sell off, brilliant. I'll buy a nice pullback. If we just chop and we don't sell off, then I'm going to save myself trying to short this. Because that's the other thing, right? You may ask, well, why didn't you short this if you're expecting it to go down? Because we literally could just barcode. We could just do this. I'm not saying we're going to, but we could. And then do I really want to just mess about and try and hold on a short all day and get psychologically, not even just, it's not worth it sometimes, especially on a Friday. So if it's going to be an easy trade, I'll take it. I.e., we get a nice pullback, stop out some people, get a nice support zone, hold down into these lows from yesterday, and we go up. Apart from that, I'm not interested in the short. If you really want to take it, maybe you have a look, but for me, I'm not going to entertain that. So yeah, sorry for the long one this morning. We'll go live on Whoop, and one thing I'm actually going to just show you quickly is, if I can bring it up, it might not work. I might do it on stream, but I managed to get the trade syncer calendar to work. It wasn't working for a while, but what I wanted to show you, this is not bragging whatsoever, it's more just showing you why playing the averages, in my opinion, is really, really good and useful, because Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday have been profitable days, obviously live on stream, but more than I need. Here you go. So this is the calendar, which is pretty cool. It kind of means I don't even need TradeZilla anymore, because it's the same thing. I can just sync sync once at the end of the day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are all green days and more than I need. Remember, $1 million a year is 4,000 a day. I know that sounds like a lot, and it is a lot of money, but $1 million is also a lot of money. So if you're trying to go for a lot of money, you need to make a lot of money. So $1 million is 4K a day. So we've already achieved that this week. So I don't really care what we do today. Of course, if there's a good setup, we always take it. But when it's a low expectation day and I've already hit PT on the week, I'm even less likely or inclined to take anything too risky. So $1 million a year divided by 52 weeks is 19,000 a week. Well, we're at 52,000. So I've already achieved what I need. So again, capital preservation, mindful of where we are in terms of how good we've done this week. And what's even cool is my average win per trade is what I need per day. $53 a day, 75 accounts, 252 days is $1 million a year. So I'm already averaging that per trade, meaning I could take one trade a day on these current stats and I'm already at $1 million a year. So just reflective, understanding where we are at the moment and just appreciate it, right? Because I don't think we need much more than this, is what I'm trying to say. So, and that's trading 1 to 2 micros, remember. Sometimes I'm trading 3 to 4, but rarely, most of the time it's 1 to 2, as you guys see on the stream. So yeah, yeah. Anyway, we will go live on Whoop, and if there's any questions, obviously let me know. I think we just got a bit of a reaction down there. Yeah, ATR down, back up into just failed the 4-hour high, back down into, and there you go, 3 times ATR up, setting the scene. But yeah, nothing for me to do until we get down to into this support. That'll also be an ETH dynamic trendline touch, get a little bit of drawdown, and then trade that back up. Have a good weekend, everyone on YouTube. Join the trading room to watch us trade live each and every day. And yeah, I'll see you all in the trading room.